Bitcoin, Ethereum, it's all up big right now. But to get into it, you need a cryptocurrency exchange. Which leads us to today, where we're talking about Coinbase, one of the earliest crypto exchanges and one that just happens to be going public this month. If you want to see if investing in a Coinbase IPO, or more accurately a Coinbase Direct Listing makes sense for you, stay tuned. Welcome to Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise, where we talk all things that can improve our financial wellness, whether it's looking to invest in the next big company or by just doing those little, smart, everyday things that we can do to build wealth and financial independence. As always, I want to thank all of you in the community for checking in and always supporting the channel by being generous with the like button, sharing your thoughts in the comments, and even sharing the videos with your friends. And for anyone new here, my name is Kevin, and I want to welcome you here for the first time. Definitely check out the video, and if you end up liking it, consider this your formal invitation to join the community. After all, it's totally free, and by subscribing, you'll make sure you don't miss any upcoming videos. So Coinbase. We've talked about them as one of the biggest IPOs expected for the year, and we started talking about them back in December. And when you look at what the crypto has done over the past year, the timing makes complete sense. Now originally we expected the direct listing to happen last month. There was a slight delay, which ended up being a good thing because now we have more information on the recent performance of the company, which I'll tell you about as we work through our discussion. So let's dig into the filing and go over the background and financials of the company before we talk about the Coinbase Direct Listing itself, and then we'll talk some valuations and considerations of the company. So Coinbase was founded in 2012 as an exchange for Bitcoin, so not a brand new company at all. Now, one of the things I've heard on previous videos where I've talked about Coinbase is a decent amount of complaints on Coinbase as far as customer service and issues with their platform and website. Now, if you've personally had positive or negative experiences with them, definitely love to hear about them in the comments. So according to Coinbase, they've grown to now directly integrate with over 15 blockchain protocols, support over 90 crypto assets for trading or custody, and offer a suite of subscriptions, products, and services, and they have 43 million verified users. 7,000 institutions, and 115,000 ecosystem partners in over 100 countries that participate in the crypto economy around the world. Along with verified users, another major key performance indicator or metric is MTUs, or what that stands for monthly transacting users. For 2020, that was 2.8 million. And we'll discuss where that number could go in 2021. Now, Coinbase initially and still does make most of their money by charging trading fees. Now, most of that total revenue from the transaction fees on the platform comes with connection of the purchase, the sale, and the trading of crypto assets by the customers. Transaction revenue is based on transaction fees that are either a flat fee or a percentage of the value of each transaction. For retail brokerage products, Coinbase also charges a spread to ensure that they are able to settle purchases and sales at the price quoted to their customers. Another growing part of their business is in custody operations, which involve charging clients to safely store large amounts of crypto. Now right now, this is not a significant amount of their revenue, but when you hear media stories about people losing their passwords and basically forfeiting millions of dollars, there seems to be some potential value in exploring some growth in this area. Now taking a look at the financials from their filing, as of December 31st, 2020, customers had traded over $456 billion on the platform since Coinbase's inception and have stored over $90 billion worth of assets across their platform. For the year ended December 31st, 2020, Coinbase generated total revenue of $1.3 billion, which is up from $533.7 million in 2019. And then also for the year 2020, transaction revenue represented over 96% of their total net revenue, which again supports what we just said. Now, as far as profitability, Coinbase reported a net income of $322.3 million in 2020, which is up from a net loss of over $30.4 million in 2019. And then just from some other information that they shared in the filing, they reported that their overall market capitalization of crypto assets grew from less than $500 million in 2012 to up to $782 billion by December 31st, 2020, which represented a compound annual growth rate of over 150%. Now, because there was a slight delay in the listing of Coinbase stock, we did get some more recent information on their financials. So for the first 3 months of 2021, ending March 31st, which is newer than the data that was reported in their S1 filing. So Coinbase just released this information, and again, these are all estimates, but as of right now, Coinbase is estimating that they had 56 million users as of March 31st. They had monthly transacting users, or again MTUs, of 6.1 million, which is more than double the average of all of 2020. They also reported assets on the platform of $223 billion, representing 11.3% of the crypto asset market share, and that includes $122 billion of assets on the platform from institutions. They had trading volume of $335 billion and total revenue of approximately $1.8 billion, with net income coming in at approximately $730 million to $800 million. They also reported adjusted EBITDA of approximately $1.1 billion. Now, they also offered an outlook for all of 2021, which we'll get to in a minute, but first let's take a quick look at the competition. While Coinbase is among the leading online cryptocurrency platforms worldwide, there are some other names that you might have heard of. Some of those include Binance, Kraken, eToro, and Gemini. And then, as Coinbase states in their filing, they also believe other fintech and brokerage companies such as Square, Robinhood, and PayPal are competitors as well. Now, when a company first starts to trade on the public markets, everybody will call it an IPO. In this case, a lot of people are talking about a Coinbase IPO, but it's technically not an IPO, it's a direct listing. Now, if you're unsure what a direct listing is, I did make a full video on what they are, all the details of them, how they're different than an IPO, which I put out right before Roblox had their direct listing. So if you haven't seen that, I'll link it for you in the description. Now, because it is a direct listing and not an IPO, there is no IPO price. And as of this recording, we don't have a reference price out just yet, but I'll try to estimate what that could be for you in a minute. Now, what we do know, though, is that the Coinbase stock is set to start trading on the public markets on Wednesday, April 14th, and it'll trade under the ticker COIN. Now, let's go over some of the considerations of investing in the company. First of all, I know many of you will feel that crypto is risky, and there's no question there's a lot of volatility in it. But the question might be is how does the volatility of crypto in general impact a crypto exchange like Coinbase, where they make money by the transaction fee versus the underlying value of what Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other cryptocurrency is. Now, a major factor to consider is that the total revenue is substantially dependent on the prices of crypto assets and volume of transactions produced on the platform. Now, the reality is that transaction revenue is the driver of their business. So when you look at how their transaction fee is based, it's that it's either the greater of either a flat fee or a percentage of the value of each transaction. And the flat fee is really dependent on how much of the value is of the currency you're buying. So if that price goes down, you may choose, and you're buying the same amount of volume of the crypto asset, the price is going to drive down the transaction fee. So while a flat fee might provide some insulation to revenue declines if the underlying cryptocurrency value drops, the flat fee itself is tied to how much the transaction costs and lowers the value, which will likely lead to people buying less. I mean, we see that all the time, that even though we have the mantra buy low and sell high, when an issue or commodity is dropping, a lot of people don't have the stomach for buying more when the price is down. Now, with crypto being still a relatively new asset, we can see that there's historically been a lot of volatility there. And then, for instance, in 2017, the value of certain crypto assets, including Bitcoin, experienced a lot of increases in value, which did result in their customer base expanding. However, that increase was followed by a steep decline in 2018, which Coinbase said adversely affected their revenue and operating results. So as you're looking at Coinbase, it has this history of cycles, and we also know it's a new asset, so we don't have decades of history to look at. We basically have a decade. And we do know that people will panic sell when prices drop, and we're still trying to figure out what the widespread adoption will be with crypto in general. So right from Coinbase themselves, which is basically what we're saying, is that the price and the trading volume of any crypto asset is subject to significant uncertainty and volatility. And those can depend on a number of factors, including changes in liquidity, market making volume and trading activities on other crypto platforms worldwide. So again, there could be that race for lower fees, which could be good for the customer, not so good for Coinbase. Investment and trading activities of highly active retail and institutional users, speculators, miners, and investors, and the speed and rate of which crypto is able to gain adoption as a medium of exchange, utility, store of value, consumptive asset, security instrument, or other security assets worldwide. Now, another risk could be regulations, and again, we're hearing more about the potential, but as of right now, it's uncertain to what form it could take. So you just have to sort of know it's out there, but as of right now, we don't know what that's going to look like, and again, that can vary from country to country. Okay, before we talk about Coinbase's outlook and a discussion on the valuation and potential reference price of the Coinbase stock, I just wanted to check in for a quick second to see if you're enjoying the video. And if you are, I just want to ask you to please give a tap to that like button if you haven't already done it. It's really important for me to know that you like videos like this. Obviously, I want to make videos on the things you want to see, and the like button is an easy way for me to figure that out. So thank you. Alright, let's look at Coinbase's outlook for 2021, and this comes right from Coinbase themselves. Now remember, we said that 2020 MTUs, or monthly transacting users, came in at 2.8 million. And for the first quarter of 2021, it came in at 6.1 users. Now Coinbase came up with 3 possible scenarios for the annual average MTU. So their most optimistic scenario has them coming in at 7 million MTUs for all of 2021. This number assumes an increase in crypto market capitalization and moderate to high crypto asset price volatility. Now in this optimistic scenario, they expect that the MTUs will continue to grow for the remainder of 2021. Now their middle range estimate is that they come in at 5.5 million MTUs. Now this scenario assumes flat crypto market capitalization and low to moderate crypto asset price volatility. This scenario assumes a modest decline in MTUs from quarter 1 in 2021. Now on the low side, or the most pessimistic outlook, would be that they come in at an average MTU of 4 million. According to Coinbase, this scenario assumes a significant decrease in crypto market capitalization, similar to the decrease observed in 2018 in low levels of crypto asset price volatility. In this scenario, Coinbase is assuming that MTUs will decrease in a corresponding manner and end 2021 at similar levels to the quarter 4 of 2020. They also talked a little bit about institutional revenue, where Coinbase does expect meaningful growth in 2021. They feel that will be driven by transaction and custody revenue given the increased institutional interest in the crypto asset class. However, they do say that their institutional revenue has been very unpredictable. Alright, so now let's talk about Coinbase and their valuation as we head into the direct listing, and talk about what a potential reference price of Coinbase stock could be. Now what Coinbase did was they did list the most recent transaction prices on the private market in their S1 filing. And those were all from the first quarter of 2021, which was really through March 15th. Now the shares traded on the private market at around $200 on the low side, up to as high as $375 on the high side. As far as the volume-weighted average price per share for the first quarter of 2021, again through March 15th, then that price was $343.58. Now that would probably be a good estimate of what the reference price could come in at. We've seen just recently with Roblox that that's how they figured out their reference price, so I would expect Coinbase to do something similar. Now there's no guarantee it'll be that exact number, and for what it's worth, the reference price doesn't mean that's where the stock will open, but just gives you an idea of where it could open. The stock could still come out trading a lot hotter. It could come out trading lower. It's just really going to be what the demand is. However, when you consider that the higher end of the range was at $375, and now we have even better numbers that have just come out for the first quarter, I would expect that this stock will probably trade much higher than that $343 number. Now, as to looking at valuation, let's again say that the stock hypothetically trades at $343.58. If the Coinbase stock was to trade at that number, the company would be valued close to around $90 billion. Now, to put things in perspective, the company was last valued at $8 billion in October of 2018. And then in the third quarter of 2020, Coinbase's stock actually traded for an average of just under $29 on the private markets. So I think I mentioned before that Coinbase going public now makes sense because timing really is everything. So what do you guys think? Are you buying Coinbase stock? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, again, please press that like button and share with your friends and on any of your social media sites and forums you're on. Anything you can do to help me grow the channel will allow me to justify putting more resources to it. And if you're new to the channel or just an occasional visitor, we'd love to have you join the community. Again, it's totally free. You just got to press that red subscribe button. We'd love to have you on board. Until next time, thank you for watching and have a great day.